On today's podcast, we're going to be covering safety inspections, so stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. You can find the show notes to each episode, links to information mentioned on the podcast, the social media platforms we're on, and anything else related to the podcast at warehousesafetytips.com. Now, if you're a seasoned podcast listener, this podcast is going to be different from most you listen to. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money and each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all of that out of the way, let's get to the podcast. The title of our podcast today is Be on the Lookout. It's meant to be related to safety inspections, but in a narrow and broad way. What I meant by this, narrowly, safety inspections are related to assuring that machines, equipment, and processes are all being maintained and followed. But it goes way beyond that to a much broader scale. Before moving on, here's a word from one of our sponsors. If you've ever been to or worked in a warehouse, you know just how important safety is to both management and staff. It's almost impossible to go 10 steps without seeing safety tape, angles, signs, and/or safety products. It's these items that show us how to be safe and avoid danger in the workplace. And if you're looking for the best products to make this happen, look no further than Mighty Line. Mighty Line floor signs and floor markings offer the best industrial products out there. We're proud to have Mighty Line as the official floor sign and floor marking company for the Warehouse Safety Tips podcast and site. Go to mightylinetape.com/safety tips to request a sample pack of their incredible safety signs and floor markings. Now back to the podcast. When deciding on what to be on the lookout for checklist, be sure to include everything in your facility. This includes but is not limited to your entire grounds or what your facility resides on, the security around the outside and the inside of your facility, every marking you have on your grounds inside and outside that instruct people what to do, where to go, and how to do something, all the doors and dock areas, all the machinery, equipment, tools, and supplies, all the various rooms and offices surrounding your warehouse or production area if applicable, your suppliers, all the first aid and emergency equipment, all the procedures and documentation related to each of them, technology and its related security and backup procedures, in case of scenarios such as fire, weather, security, injuries, and other situations, packaging and shipping procedures, inventory, manufacturing, and many more. And once you know everything you want to be on the lookout for, you need to create a roster of who's responsible for maintaining each area within the entire inspection and maintenance team. Many of the individuals will be part of more than one area. For example, security guards may be part of several, if not all teams, since they're responsible for enforcing rules and protecting the facility. Part of the be on the lookout mentality is a 6S methodology related item. If you're constantly looking for what's currently in place and finding ways to improve upon it, then you're on your way to having your facility running as smooth and as safe as possible. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. If you visit warehousesafetytips.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode and access to all of our blog posts, previous podcasts, advertiser information, and much more. Thank you for listening to Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.